Hi, I'm Gozi Okure. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, you're welcome. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment for me below saying I subscribe, and I'll be so glad to connect with you. Now, today we'll be looking at how to overcome poverty, leveraging investment. How to overcome poverty, leveraging investment. Now, in our last video, we saw how savings is so important, and we described savings as the ability, the act of setting money aside for a purpose. Now, we saw that savings is so important for anybody who wants to create wealth, and we said that a man who cannot save money does not have the seed of greatness in him. Today, we want to go ahead and see how investment is so key to overcoming poverty and, for creating wealth. Now, what is investment? Investment is simply the act of sending money on errand to go and arrest more money. In a layman's language, we say that investment is the act of setting money aside, setting money on a mission, setting money on an errand to go and bring forth more money. Now, in savings, we say savings is the act or the way, the act of setting money aside for a purpose. Now, for anybody who wants to create wealth, that purpose, the money that is saved, should be used for investment. The money that you have been able to save should not be used to acquire consumer items. The money that you have been able to save should not be used to buy the latest iPhone in town, except if you're going to use it to bring more money into your hands. But if it is just bought to impress your friends and colleagues, no. We say that investment is the ability of using the money that you have been saved, the money that you were able to save, using that money and sending it on errand to go and arrest more money. We say that that is investment. Okay, please, I understand and appreciate this. We say that savings is the ability to put money aside for a purpose, and we say that investment is the act of sending the money that you have been able to save, sending it on a mission to go and bring in more money for you. Now, the concept of investment is so important and it's so key to our ability to overcome poverty. For a man who wants to overcome poverty, a man who wants to subdue poverty, you must go through the route of investment. It's so key. It's very important that I want to, describe investment in three practical, graphic ways so that the average man on the street can understand what investment means and will be able to appreciate it and will be able to do it, to be able to invest, so that we can see how we can, subdue this poverty that is trying to subdue the people in the land. Now, the graphic way of describing investment is this. Number one, invested money can be seen as, the way a police officer is sent out to go and arrest people and bring back to, to a cell or something. Okay, the money invested acts as a military officer. The money invested acts as a military officer. It goes out and then it arrests more money and brings it back to the investor. Okay, so that's one graphic way, one layman way of explaining investment, that invested funds, they act as military officers that go out and they arrest more money and they bring it back to the investor. Okay, that's one way of looking at investment. Now, another way of looking at investment is through the lens of the fisherman. Now, you see, when a fisherman is going to catch a big fish, usually he goes with smaller fishes that the big fish loves to eat. So when he gets there, he uses the small fish as a bait. He throws the small fish as a bait to arrest or to entice or to draw in the bigger fish. That's how investment acts. The invested funds usually goes to bring bigger money, goes to bring more money and draws it back into the hands of the investor. Okay, that's another way of looking at investment, as a small fish that goes out to go and arrest, to go and attract to go and bring bigger fishes into the hands of the investor. That's another graphic way of looking at investment. Now, the third graphic way of looking at investment is like somebody who opens a rabbitry and maybe puts a few adult rabbits in a room and leaves them there, feeds them carrots, feeds them with, the kind of things that rabbits love to eat. Now, assuming the person puts 4 or 5 or 6 adult rabbits there, by the time you come back in 2 months, instead of seeing 6 rabbits there, you will see 40. What has happened? The rabbits have bred more rabbits. Now, the common denominator between the rabbits and invested money is that both of them breed. The rabbit breeds rabbits, the invested money breeds more money. Okay, and that is why you can hardly stay with the wealthy man without hearing them talk about investment. When you relate with the wealthy, you hear that they're always talking about investment. Why? Because that is what usually puts money in their hands. It is through investment that the wealthy multiply their money. It is through investment that the wealthy grows wealthier. It is through investment that the wealthy increases and enlarges in his financial, in his finances, okay? So it's so important that every other person, you might be low today, you might be small today. Remember what I said in one of my videos last week? I said that Brian Tracy says that if you can model the people, the top executives, the people who are doing well in your field, if you can model them and do exactly what they do, that you will also accomplish, you will also get their results. And he says it's very predictable, okay? It's not a magic and it's not a miracle. If you do what they do, you will get their results. So if you're down today, you're down at, poverty zones and you want to get out of there, remember what I have continued to say. I said nobody is sentenced to a life of poverty perpetually. We can always come out from those poverty zones. So one of the ways you can come out from poverty zones is to invest, just like the wealthy. Because you see, in this life, both the rich and the poor, they earn money. The poor and the rich, they earn money. The difference between the two, between the rich and the poor, is in their money habits. Now, when money enters into the hand of the wealthy, he thinks investment. He thinks about where to invest that money, so that just like the rabbits can breed more rabbits for him, just like the small fishes, they will go out and bring the bigger fishes, or just like the military man, the money will act as military people and go and arrest other arrest more money for him. Okay, so what the wealthy does is that as soon as the money enters his hands, whether the money is coming as a salary, is coming from his business, is coming from dividends, once money enters into the hand of the wealthy, he thinks investment. The poor, on the other hand, when money enters the hand of the poor man, he thinks consumption. When money enters the hand of the poor man, he thinks about the last leather shoe he saw in the shoe shop. Or he thinks about the latest iPhone that has just come out, okay? So the poor thinks consumption and the rich thinks investment. And that is why also you see that the rich man does not fund his luxury from his earnings. He does not fund his luxury from his income. What the rich man does is that when money comes into his hands, he invests the money. And then he uses the dividend from that money. He uses the interest or whatever, profit that comes from his investment. He now uses it to fund his luxury. But what does the poor do? The poor man will use his salary or use his, proceeds and use his money and go and fund his luxury. That way, as the poor is getting poorer, the wealthy is getting richer by his investment, okay? So that is why for anybody here today listening to me, it's so important that you begin also to think investment so that we can all become wealthy. We all need money to fulfill our purpose, to fulfill our destiny in this life, okay? So please, think investment. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I want to encourage you, if you've been listening to me today, I want you to think about wherever you are, in the city where you are, in the country where you are, what are the investment opportunities that are available? Write them and write a comment for me. What are the investment opportunities that are available where you are? subsequently, with time, we will discuss the various investment portfolios that are available to us. Okay, thank you so much once again for joining me in this beautiful video. I want to encourage you once again, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Tell somebody about this beautiful channel and give me a thumbs up. And also don't forget to turn on the bell notification so that you will always be notified each time I release a new video. And then in the description box, I will leave the link to my authors page in Amazon. Okay, there you will see a couple of my books. I've written a couple of very beautiful books on finances that will really help you, and you will enjoy reading my books. Until I come your way next time, please keep thriving.